before I share with you our why, our impact, and our vision, I would be remiss not to share with you my abundant gratitude for my incredible wife, my wonderful children, family, and friends, and all who are sitting in this room or in some way, shape, or form already a part of the Vera, Aqua, Vera, Vita family as partners, board members, prayer warriors, and volunteers. We literally could not do what we do without you. Thank you so much. I would not be standing here before you today, and Vera, Aqua, Vera, Vita would probably not exist without these amazing people that have gotten me and us this far. All that being said, our work is only just beginning because, and if you excuse me, I'm going to do myself a quick favor here. So I can have my hand free. I would literally not be sitting here. Not sitting, standing. I would not be standing here with you today if it were not for these amazing people. All that being said, our work is only just beginning. I tried something, it didn't work. All that being said, our work is only just beginning because right now, somewhere in the world, a 5-year-old girl is waking up. While many children her age are eating breakfast or getting ready for school, Maria is walking for water. She carries a plastic container nearly as big as she is and follows a dusty road far beyond her village. When she reaches that water source, it isn't a well, it isn't clean, it's a muddy stream shared by livestock and runoff. But Maria fills her container anyways. The walk home is long, the container is heavy, and by the time she returns, school has already begun. Most days, Maria has missed it. And the water she carries home often makes her sick. Maria's story is heartbreaking, but it's not rare. According to peer-reviewed academic studies, let this number sink in, 4 billion people, that is half the world's population, lack reliable access to safe, clean water. And tragically, right now, parents somewhere in the world are quietly wiping away tears as they lay their child to rest because their child has just died from a water-related disease. And this is happening every 90 seconds. As a parent of 3 young children myself, my daughter Maria being one of my children, my only daughter, I cannot imagine the pain of losing a child simply because clean water wasn't available. Yet tonight, while we gather here, children like Maria, not my daughter Maria, gratefully, but Marias around the world, and that's just a moniker of a name to just encapsulate and make it real, are simply struggling to survive at best and are drinking water that would cost them their lives at worst. Without solutions, that reality continues. This is the world without our mission of Vera, Aqua, Vera, Vita. Now, the first time I witnessed this reality firsthand was in 2011 during a Catholic student mission trip to Haiti while I was studying water engineering at Purdue University. Yes, you can shout, boiler up. That trip opened my eyes to the clear calling that my life and gifts were not meant for myself alone, but to be given in service to others. While helping demolish a building damaged by the devastating 2010 earthquake in Haiti, I was enthusiastically knocking down a concrete column without a hard hat. Of course, that's a big component. When a large piece of concrete came off and struck me on the top of the head, leaving me with a concussion and stitches. Looking back, whether it was my rattled brain or just simply my heart being so moved by these people and my deep desire to do something meaningful with my life, that moment launched Aqua Vita in 2017. 9 years later, as we celebrate what God has done, I stand here convinced that if he can use an engineer like me, who simply said yes, imagine what he can do through each and every one of your yeses. Now, you might be asking, how does Haiti go to Peru? Well, that's a total God providential story, and you'll have to come and talk to me about that later. But we are currently working in Peru, but we do want to go back to Haiti. So you might also be asking yourself at this point, well, what is our mission in one sentence? Vera Vita empowers communities in developing countries to generate clean water and sanitation solutions, also known as WASH, that bring true water and true life. Our name reflects that vision. Vera, Aqua, Vera, Vita. True water, true life. Because when clean water arrives in a community, everything changes. Children return to school. Disease declines. Families begin to regain time to work, learn, and build their futures. But the way we pursue this mission matters. We don't simply install water systems and leave. We partner with communities. We equip local leaders. We train residents to maintain the systems. And we provide sanitation and hygiene solutions and education to families to help protect their health. The goal is not simply temporary relief. It is lasting transformation leading to human flourishing, which is something we all desire and that our world desperately needs. Entire villages gain sustainable access to clean water, impacting hundreds of families at a time with our mission. But this mission is not just humanitarian. It is simply, and even more than that, it is deeply spiritual. Now let's return to Maria for a moment. Imagine the day clean water finally arrives in her village. The community gathers. Children stand by nearby with water containers. Village leaders watch as the water system is prepared and turned on. And for the first time, clean water flows. Children rush forward. Mothers laugh. Some people quietly wipe away tears of joy. Because something that once required hours of walking is now only steps away. The next morning, Maria wakes up, and instead of preparing for a long walk down a dusty road, she walks to school. Instead of carrying a water container, she carries a backpack. Moments like this echo the story of John 4:10, where Jesus says to the woman at the well, "Everyone who drinks this water will thirst again. But whoever drinks the water I give will never thirst." Why? Because the deepest thirst of the human heart is not only for water. It is for God himself. And here's the thing. When we bring clean water to communities in need, we reflect that compassion of Jesus himself. We respond to physical thirst, yes. But more than that, we honor the dignity of the human person. Just as Jesus reminds us in Matthew 25, "I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink." The work we do not only quenches physical thirst, but it also gives those we serve an encounter with the living water of Jesus Christ. For example, because of our ministry, 250 children received the gift of a Theology of the Body storybook, leading them to a closer relationship with God last year. The exciting thing also is that to date, we have been able to bring sustainable wash solutions to 8,500 plus people across 2 communities, plus a master planned water system for that same community of Monte Castillo that we saw the video about a moment ago. We also have been able to deliver 3,000 plus care packages across 4 communities and implement our education workshop in those same 4 communities, impacting and effectively reaching 10,000 plus people with life-changing knowledge about basic water, sanitation, and hygiene best management practices. There is a beautiful truth in the Christian tradition that speaks directly to moments like this. It is called the law of the gift. St. John Paul II explained it this way. The human person discovers who they truly are through a sincere and unabashed gift of themselves. In other words, we become most alive when we give ourselves away And that is exactly what happens through this mission with Aqua, Vera, Vita. Maria is only one child. There are countless more like her. Countless who will wake up tomorrow and walk to fetch water. Countless who will miss school. Countless who will drink water and die from it. Across the regions where we work in Peru and beyond, communities are asking for great partnership. Local leaders are ready. In fact, we have 4 communities we are actively serving right now, and easily 10 plus more that are asking us to help them. At our current capacity, we are able to complete 2 of these life-changing projects per year. But that is just the start of what it takes to radically transform an entire community and impact thousands of futures forever. However, we are confident that thanks to the solid foundation we have laid with our rigorous and proven process, strong partnerships, and perseverance, we can dramatically expand the impact and reach of our work by scaling our operations. The opportunity to expand with more sustainable clean water solutions is extraordinary. An opportunity not only to solve a crisis, but to live out this law of the gift in a way that changes lives. From our annual and ever-increasing in popularity mission trips, plus pilgrimages to Peru, we can also learn more about that in the postcard that's in your program. So if you lost your program or your card ended up on the table, look underneath your seat possibly. You can learn more about that trip to Peru with us this summer. As we looking forward to the next 5 years, we believe God is calling us to create momentum by specifically in the next year investing in 3 key accelerators that will expand this mission and bring true water, true life to tens of thousands more people in need. This first accelerator is investing $100,000 to hire a full-time professional engineer. Yes, I am one myself, but I can only do so much. This will allow Vera Vita to transform 3 additional communities in Peru, providing 4,500 plus people sustainable clean water and gospel outreach by the fall of 2027 by expanding our project and program leadership. Engineering expertise ensures these water systems are reliable, sustainable, and built to serve communities for decades. But the impact goes far beyond infrastructure. Each project also creates an opportunity for communities to encounter that living water of Jesus Christ. For thousands of families, this means the difference between walking miles for water versus having it clean and safe and flowing right there in their communities. The second accelerator is this. It focuses on innovation. A $75,000 investment will deploy and validate a rapid solar power and water generation system that we are calling currently the acronym PAWGS, which will allow us to serve 200 people in immediate nature over the next 12 months and then be able to accelerate a scalable clean water and power delivery system across Peru by producing more of these technologies and getting them into more communities that are off-grid immediately. This system uses solar power to generate clean water, making it possible to deliver clean drinking water in areas where traditional infrastructure is hard to build. We do hope to build one of these and deploy it by the end of July of this year. And then over the next 12 months, this prototype will undergo real-world field testing and refinement. The goal is not just a prototype. The goal is a scalable technology capable of delivering clean water to thousands of people across remote communities. The best part is that with this technology, children like Maria won't have to wait for clean water just because they're in a remote community. We'll be able to pull it in on a semi-truck and drop it into their community and get them clean water and electricity right away. Solar power and water will enable other children like Maria to thrive without that traditional infrastructure that we are so used to. This third accelerator that we have, though, is a very exciting one. Third accelerator focuses on education and multiplication. A $50,000 investment will train and equip 50 local leaders with ready-to-deploy WASH plus theology of the body workshop kits that will be used to expand the reach of the curriculum we have created. These workshops teach essential water, sanitation, and hygiene practices while sharing the message of the living water of Jesus Christ. workshops by the fall of 2027, reaching over 12,000 people with life-saving health, knowledge, and spiritual encouragement. When local leaders are equipped, transformation spreads far beyond any single project. And when we think about the future, let us return to Maria. Now, imagine Maria 1 year from now. The sun rises over her village. But this morning, she's not walking that dusty road. Instead, she is taking a few steps to clean water right in her community. She fills a container with that clean water. Then, she just simply picks up her backpack and she goes to school. She learns. She laughs. She begins to dream about the future that God has placed inside her heart. And all because clean water finally flowed into her village. Tonight, we have the opportunity to help offer that story for thousands of more children. Because somewhere in the world,